Hey, English 112, it's Miss Brewer here for your welcome video for our online summer English 112 course. So I just wanted to do our first video in YouTube so you can see me, and then you can click back into Moodle and kind of follow along with me when I go through some of just the basics of the course. We're going to talk about the syllabus, we're going to talk about your enrollment assignment, and I will let you know a little bit about week one, but there is a week one lecture video that you can watch. So you can take care of that then. So you don't have to watch me for this video because then you're just seeing my face. So you can feel free to just follow along with my voice and go through Moodle with me. So when you go into the Moodle page, you'll see Welcome to English 112. You'll have my contact information there. My office is Waller 114. My student hours, which means that I'm sitting in my office available for you most of the time, are Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 to 11 and Tuesdays from 1 to 2. So unless I'm off campus for some reason, I should be available to you in my office, and you're welcome to come by if you have questions. There's some course information here for you. This is pretty important. So I just want to talk about the syllabus. If you'll open that up and follow along with me on the syllabus, I'm just going to highlight the really important parts. All of it is important for you to read because this is a contract between you and I. However, I'm going to highlight my course policies and kind of the grading and things like that for the course. So just a heads up, this is a second level English course, and when you enter the course you are expected to have the skills that you learned in English 111 as you enter into this course. So it is expected that you know how to document, you know how to write a paper, you know how to do research, and you know how to cite and things like that. We're an online course, so we'll be meeting online only, asynchronously, so you don't have to log in at any specific time to complete your work. You have contact information here. There's my contact information. There's the chair of the English department, Ms. Keffer's contact information, our division chair, Dr. Whelan, and our VP of instruction, Dr. Maddox Fisher. So our course outline just kind of gives you a breakdown of about how much time we're going to spend on different things, and kind of get an idea of how you cover all of these 48 hours of the class. I just want to remind you guys that you are doing a 16-week course. 16 weeks worth of work in 10 weeks. So it will be condensed. So the workload will feel heavy at times. And that's because we're cutting 6 weeks out, but we're not really cutting the work out, just the time to complete the work. So when you scroll down, you'll see for grading, you have 4 categories for grading. The largest category and the one with the most assignments is coursework. That's 35% of your grade. And that's essentially anything that doesn't fall under the other 3 categories. So you have MLA format, and that category is based off of 2 grades, a MLA formatted thesis and outline for a literary analysis paper, and a final draft of a literary analysis paper. So your final products are what make up that 20%. And then your APA format is 35% of your grade, and that includes 3 final products, an annotated bibliography, a literature review final draft, and a final presentation for the class. And then your final exam will cover everything we go over in the course, and that's 10% of your grade. If you scroll down to course policies, just know that your prior knowledge is expected, that you know MLA format, you know the recursive writing process, you understand basic English grammar and things like that, and you can already start to gather and synthesize your research. And we're going to expand on those skills in this class. My personal policies, this is kind of important for the class, for the contacting your instructor. This is the best way for you to reach me, obviously, is email. However, you can contact me on my phone number. You can stop by during my student hours or another time and maybe try to catch me. But definitely, if you want to make sure that I'm here, just set up an appointment with me to meet face-to-face or via phone or even online. I'm happy to do that. If you do email me, make sure you use your Lancer Mail account to email me. Make sure that you follow the format that I'm giving to you. So I want you to include a salutation, like greet me, hello, good morning, good afternoon, Miss Brewer, acknowledge the person that you're writing an email to. Then identify yourself, identify the section of English 112 that you are in. I have 3 online sections. So let me know if you're in IN, IN1, IN25. Okay, let me know which section you're in so that I can look you up and address whatever question you have about that course. So if you don't do that, I may respond to you and just say, what section are you in? And then make sure that you are specific about your question. I would like clarification on this assignment. Here are my specific questions, okay? Not just what's this assignment, because I spend a lot of time with videos and written directions and student examples. So if you have specific questions, please make sure that you tell me what those are. And then of course you sign off, and then your first name and last name. You'll see here in bold that it does state that my communication takes place between the student enrolled in the course and myself. So while you may have a FERPA form on file that allows your parent to speak with me, that is not required of me. And if your parent reaches out to me, I will include you in our correspondence, even with a FERPA on file. So just be aware that there will be no like secret talks with your mom or anything like that. But my correspondence occurs through you. So make sure that you are reaching out if you have questions, and be your own advocate for your learning. So there are some submitting assignments expectations in the general English department section of this syllabus, but for me, I just want to make sure you understand that I do not accept attachments that are not Microsoft Word. If you upload something in Pages or a different format and I cannot open it, I cannot open it, and that's a 0. So make sure that you're doing it properly. You have access to Microsoft for free in your Moodle account and through your email. Make sure that you use Word for any written attachments. Make sure that you use PowerPoint for your final presentation, and then you will actually do a presentation in either VoiceThread or Flipgrid. We're going to try VoiceThread out this semester and see how it goes. And then just be aware that I don't accept links for assignments ever. I won't click them. I won't open them. No links ever. So if you turn in a link, I'm not going to grade it. I do have a late work procedure for the class. So you have a due date and a deadline. The due date is the date that's listed. The deadline is 3 days after the due date. So you do have a built-in 3-day grace period. However, you do lose 10% per day on the overall grade that is late. After the 3-day grace period, I do not accept the assignment. If you wish to ask for an extension, generally ahead of time, I'll grant you an extension maybe once throughout the semester. But if you ask me after the assignment is due, that's not going to happen. It needs to be before. Just be aware that your literature review, you only have a 24-hour grace period on, and it will be a 15-point late penalty. Don't do that. You can't afford those 15 points on that. After the grace period, I do not accept the assignment. And your final presentation, there is no grace period. Also be aware that the grace periods, the 3-day grace period does not apply to attendance assignments. So even if I don't grade it, I might go ahead and grade it if it's 3 days late and give you like just a marked down grade, but you will still be counted absent. So be aware of that. One thing I want you to be aware of with my course and the course content and language of my course, and I'm going to kind of read a little bit of this to you just so you understand. For me, what we focus on for our research and our analysis in this class and writing across the disciplines are social issues that are present in our world today. So for me, it's my educational philosophy that I can affect change, and we can all affect change by education and by discussion. And that is what I aim to do in my class. So more than just research, documentation, and writing, we are looking at having some fruitful discussions and better understanding our world and the people around us. So be aware that I always expect you to go back to the text. So when you're analyzing social issues within the poetry or you're researching them, you're always referring back to the text rather than like personal experience or things like that. One thing that's really important for this class, and it starts from day one, is being aware of bias-free writing. It's a requirement in APA format, and it's something that I've always required, so I require it throughout the course. Bias-free writing means that we use people-first language. We are people. We are not adjectives, okay? So we are not whatever describes us, but we are people. So rather than say, we don't say blacks and whites, we say black people, white people, we say people of color, we say, we don't say handicapped people, we say people with disabilities, okay? We do not identify people by their adjectives. So make sure that you're identifying people as people and utilizing people first language. This is something that I expect to see from day one in your journals, discussion boards, and papers. It might be a paradigm shift at the beginning, but by the end of the course, my hope is that it's something that comes naturally to you at that point. I have attempted to provide you guys with literature that covers various social issues. So we have 15 poems we're going to look at the beginning of the semester, and they cover a plethora of social issues. So investigate the poetry, see what speaks to you, and then you will choose a social issue to research for your APA formatted assignments. You can choose the social issue that's interesting to you. So if it's something you don't want to talk about, pick something else. There are a lot of different social issues within these poems. It's not just one or two things. So be aware that I want you to go with what stands out to you and is important to you, not what is the easiest or most obvious thing. So that is my hope for you as we go through the course and you do your research. I do expect a class it provokes you, it pushes you outside of your box, it has you thinking about different perspectives, discussing those things, researching and learning new perspectives, and I hope that you get something out of it. That's the goal here, so that it's not just about the writing styles, but also learning and growing as humans. So then getting into the plagiarism policy in the syllabus, please be aware that LCC has a very strict plagiarism policy. The first instance of plagiarism, whether it is globally taking someone else's work, whether it is cut and paste, or whether it is incremental, meaning you didn't even do it on purpose, whatever it is, the first instance results in a 0 on the assignment. If it happens again in the course, you will fail the course, an F in the course. So you will no longer have access to the course, but it will not be a W, it will be an F. And I gave out 2 of those last semester. So please be aware that you need to be very careful when it comes to plagiarism. So make sure you read through those different types of plagiarism that I provide for you. If you wish to withdraw from the course, do make sure that you let me know and I can help you with that. You can look through the communication information. Please make sure you review that. Your attendance, your assignment submission information, your computer information. You are in an online course. It is expected you have access to the internet and a computer at all times. And just be aware for attendance for this class that if you miss 2 consecutive weeks, you will be withdrawn from the class, or 3 weeks total of assignments, you'll be withdrawn from the class. Also, if you start missing a whole bunch of assignments, that's going to equal up to more than 15% of the course, and you will be withdrawn from the course. So make sure you're turning all of your assignments in on time as you can, okay? Be prepared to work faster, all right, and smarter, because it is a 10-week course covering 16 weeks worth of work. So I'm going to go ahead and expect that you're going to look through all of the syllabus on your own, and we're going to come out of the syllabus and go back through the Moodle page. So I do use the announcement feature rather often. I will make announcements for the course. They will go to your email, and they will also be located in an announcement. You can see the major assignments for the course under major assignments in this course, just to know kind of what we're working on. There is a note on discussion forum grading. This talks about how I grade discussion forums. It's super important, okay? So you are expected to fully answer all parts of the questions. You are expected to refer to the text always, quoting it and citing your quotes. There is a word count there that is for a reason. If you are not meeting the minimum word count, you are not meeting the minimum expectations. So don't expect 100 on that. Make sure that your peer responses, you're not evaluating each other. You're not like, great job, I think you did such a good job, or you could have done this. That's my job to evaluate. It's your job to respond and add something to the conversation. All right. So yeah, discussion boards are really boring when everyone responds and they're like, yes, Cindy, I do think the sky is blue. What a lovely shade of blue. Yeah, no one wants to read that. But if you respond to what the person actually wrote, give some experience of your own, give new examples, pose questions, then discussion boards can be fruitful. So it's kind of up to you guys how the discussion boards go, but my expectation is that those are your peer replies. Most of the discussions are worth 100 points, so just be aware of that. 50 for your initial, 25 for each peer response. So I'm going back into Moodle now. So there is support available for you. We might use NetTutor for reviewing papers. You have your distance education contacts if you need to get in touch or help with distance education. If you have struggled with Moodle, you need to contact either Joe Wilson or Sheila Graham, because I don't know much about how to get you in and out of Moodle, but they do. We have resources. You will use your online library resources. Free Microsoft is available for you, and I encourage everyone to utilize Grammarly. It is free with your LCC account, and you can have it check everything, even your emails. So I encourage you to do that. So where we are now, we're at the enrollment procedure. So you need to complete your enrollment assignment immediately. Your first week's assignments will not open until your enrollment assignment is complete. If it is not completed by the 19th at 11:55, you will be withdrawn from the course. So make sure you get that done right away. So for your enrollment assignment, it's a journal response, 200 to 300 words. I'm not super picky about the word count, but start paying attention to it now. And there are 4 questions that I want you to respond to in 1 paragraph. So I don't want 4 different paragraphs, and I don't want 4 different sentences. I want 1 solid paragraph that addresses these 4 questions for your enrollment assignment. And then you guys can go straight into week 1. Hopefully the voice thread that I tried to put up there works for you guys. If you struggle, please email me and let me know so I can address it. This is my first time using it, and I hope that we can get a lot out of it this semester. If you have questions, feel free to shoot me an email, and I will be happy to help you however I can. Welcome to the course.